Hello, and here we are again at wildsunne Art Studio. My name is Robinson, and we are here for day 11. Now, this is a project that takes me back to 6th grade. Do you ever remember making gum chains? Well, somewhere along the line, here, let's push that away a bit. I found out that doing 3 links in a row in red made little hearts. So I thought this would be a really fun project for today. And I will give you the details on this. But first, I wanted to show you that I started out with big pieces of paper. So these are 1-inch papers, and I cut them 8.5 inches long. So on a piece of paper, piece of cardstock. By the way, this is cardstock, not paper. So I just cut, this is 11 inches long, so I cut 11 rows. I'm fairly certain that on A4, it also works out perfectly if you I'm thinking the difference between the two sizes. 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters. I think 2.5. Do we like that? Or shall I tell you to go down to, well, 2.5 I think will work out fine. And just cut all the way down your A4 page, and you'll end up with a little bit extra at the end, but that's fine. And I'm fairly, well, we can tweak this, and I'll show you how to tweak the pieces if they don't fit. But for the little one, let me show you here. These pieces of paper are 4.25 inches long by 1/2 inch. I worked this out. I looked up what the actual millimeter size of the A4 is. It's 210 by 297. So it works out to make these pieces of paper 12 millimeters wide and 11 centimeters long. That will give you a piece of paper that's about this size, and you'll end up with a chain that's about this size. And then, of course, you can play with making them small or big or whatever you want. I mean, these aren't the only sizes in the world. It's just what I came up with. So for the A4, you will cut 29. Oh, all right. I did. I changed this. You will cut 29 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter? That doesn't make sense. That's too little. No, that's about right. That's just about what our 1/2 inch is. So yeah, cut on an A4 sheet, cut 29 1 centimeter strips, and you'll get a little bit left over at the end. And then you'll cut these in half, just like I did with these, to get strips that are 105 millimeters long. Okay, so there's metric all done. And then for those of us in the States, we are cutting 1/2 inch strips all the way down. So we will get 22 of them. And then we cut these in half. So here is the situation. Usually I like it when we hand cut with our own scissors, because the whole brain, eyes, hands thing just gets our brains going in a good way. This is a wonderful project for when I get stuck somewhere in my life and I don't know what to do. I find that a highly repetitive project allows me, like pretty soon my hands take over the job and I don't have to pay attention very much anymore. So that allows my brain to think on things and to receive, well, this is actually what it feels like to me. Hope this isn't too weird, but I can kind of shut up and listen to what's the answers that are coming at me. So the answers can be from whatever source makes the most sense to you, from God or the goddess or your angels or your guardian spirits or dead relatives, or probably all of those beings are in our sphere on a daily basis. This is what I keep learning. But whoever it is who talks to you in a kindly and very helpful way, I've actually heard this thing that some of the wisdom that we get from kind of psychic places could be us on another dimension, that we are multidimensional beings. And you know how they say that we only use 10% of our brain? Well, the other part of our brain is existing kind of on another level, and so we're way smarter than we are here in an earthly way, because we have all that wisdom that is behind us in a sort of spirit way. Yeah, so there's my woo-woo for today. Let's get down to the business of making a paper chain, and then we can continue the woo-woo later, if that pleases you. So what we do is we take, you can see this, we're all in frame. So we take our piece of paper and we fold it in half. Now, I have found this is actually a tad bit, oh, I have to go back to what I was talking about before, but let me finish this. This is a little tight if we make the next fold and go all the way into the center. So I come out a generous 1/16 of an inch, or about 2 millimeters out, pull it out. It makes this piece be a little bit longer, which means there's more space to tuck in. So let's see how close we can get. So we have two sides to our little piece, building block. And you'll notice, let's do this because my fingers are having a hard time here. They're each folded. So do you see that? There's a middle here and a middle here. So what we're going to do is take our two pieces, and one of the pieces goes in the middle on the right and one of the pieces goes in the middle on the left. And then we push that through. And I think I've been folding these a little tightly. So let me show you. Where is my silver pen? Here it is. So I folded this in half, and there is the half fold. Now, if I folded it all the way to the middle, that makes this distance a little too tight, and we won't be able to actually slide one piece into the other. So I pull back. Can't quite see that. So I'm going to draw a silver line right here on the edge. None of this is going to show, by the way. So instead of taking one edge and pulling it all the way down, we're going to pull out, and we want a generous 1/16 of an inch. If you ended up going to an 1/8 of an inch, that would be all right. Oops, that one came out a little further than I thought, but it's really okay. It just makes it easier to put one of these pieces into the other. So we just finished making a heart. So you're coming from where the step is. We're not going in from out there. We want to cross this step and go into the piece that's right there. So again, let's belly those out a little bit so you can see them just a little bit better. This will become quite evident to you when you're doing those. So you see our two spaces. So we take the two sides, trying to show you and me at the same time, and we put the two sides of our piece into the two sides of the last piece, and then we push it through all the way to the end. And we're going to have to sort of roll it over so that we're coming in from where this step is. So I did a black. So this is just black, white, black, white, black, white. I do 7 of the black whites, always starting and ending with a black. And then I do 3 red hearts. And you could use anything. You could use like a really pretty lime green with some purple. You could use, oh, you know, on the 4th of July for the United States, or what's the day in France where you celebrate independence? Bastille Day. Because their flag is red, white, and blue too, although I think they say their colors in a different order than people from the U.S. say. Who else has a red, white, and blue? Well, whatever your colors are, especially if your national colors have red in them, you can do one for a national day. You could, of course, do one of these for Easter or Hanukkah or somebody's birthday. Ooh, or you could make chains for college football games. All right, so I was telling you a long time ago, way back in the beginning, that I usually like to use scissors to cut pieces like this. However, there are so many little tiny pieces, and this project actually works a little bit better with precision. So please do feel free to get out your cutting board, cutting chopper, cutting whatever method of paper cutting you have. Paper cutter, that's what I'm looking for. So a little paper chain like this that's a little bit delicate could go perhaps over the buffet table at a Valentine dinner, or it could go across the bureau of your husband or wife, or it could go across your desk at work. So sort of a smaller space. This big one that I did is just about 6 feet long, and I think this will go best over a door, maybe across my kitchen door which you see when you come in my house. We come in and right across the hall is where the kitchen door is. So putting this across the kitchen door would be great because everybody will see it as soon as you come in the house. And then I think it's fun to pre-cut a whole bunch of papers and then sit down and have a lovely chat with a cup of tea. Have a lovely chat with your, well, of course, with another human, that would be fine. Or, you know, kind of say your prayers and do your meditation while you're doing this. It's nice because the Buddhists have this thing they call monkey mind. It's the part of our mind that deals very well with being here on planet Earth. And a lot of Western philosophers call it the ego. And according to Anita Morjani, who had a near-death experience and came back, and she said, wow, that felt like love. She says that, and I love this, that we actually need our ego to help us maneuver here on the planet because we're not spirit beings, we're earthly beings, and there are some rules that are very different because we're here. And like I said in it was day 5 at the end in the blessings, you know, we're not angels. And there are some good parts and bad parts about that. One of the good parts is that we get to play with glitter. Now, angels get to play with light, so it's not like they don't have their full share of lots of fun. It's just that they don't need glue to make it stick, and we do. So we get to make a mess in a glue and glitter kind of a way. And when we return to being heavenly spirit beings, there's no more glue on the other side. So that's a thing. And we get to make our choices. So there is ego, and there is monkey mind, and we love them because they help us cross the streets safely, and they help us know who to trust and who not to trust, because here on planet Earth, sometimes people get pretty far away from knowing themselves spiritually, and they end up behaving in pretty amazingly horrific ways. So we can legitimately not, commit damage or anything, but just protect ourselves and our families, and so we get to do that. And we do that with the wisdom of the ego, because ego helps us be here on planet Earth, and so does monkey mind. But monkey mind also, according to the Buddhists, this is taking a long time for me to get here, sorry. Monkey mind gets a little busy sometimes, and it's hard to quiet our monkey mind and get down to the business of meditation and prayer and get the benefits of said. So I have found, is very nice to give our lovely hands and eyes a little bit of entertainment so that our monkey mind is content and happy while we go off to pray. So we can then, while my fingers are making little puzzle pieces here, they get to delight that every 7 pieces we get to make another heart. So monkey mind has something to do and something to play with, and our hearts and souls get to go talk to our spirit helpers and, get a little more grace in the workings of our everyday. So I realize I am talking here. And usually when I set these projects up for students, I like to have us not talk. So I will give you, I hope that I have given you enough information about how to make this chain. And I will give you a little something to think about as you work on your chain. Something that I have been working on a bunch for the last, I don't know, maybe week or two, not very long. And that is that we're already here. We're already magical. We are already pretty freaking awesome. But we're already here. We already have magic healing in our hands and in our bodies. We already have complete access to not only our spirit guides, but our own innate, wonderful wisdom and creativity. And we can figure stuff out if we just give ourselves the quiet. We're already here. So with that, I wish for you the blessings of knowing that you and I are already here, and all the answers you need are very close at hand. Blessings to you, my dear, and I will see you tomorrow with another really pretty project.